Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you are a first timer to this channel, to these videos, and welcome to you guys as well. Amar says hello in the live chat, so hello to you. Thank you for joining in. I'm glad to be here. This is your watch list that we're sending out for Tuesday, February 28th. I send these watch lists out to you guys for free every single day. I do daily watch lists, weekly swings. I didn't get to it on the weekend for this week. I will do it tonight. I will get that video out to you guys. I do monthly swings, and I put them out for you guys for free. So thank you guys again for being here. A couple things before we get started. There is a live chat, so if you guys have questions, you can ask them. I'll either answer them as we go through, or we'll save them till the end. We'll see what type of question it is. I'm also on Twitter. You guys can follow me there at Mr. Clark Griswold. You can DM me there. You can ask me questions there. You can do the same thing down below. If you're not watching this video live, comment in the comment section below. Ask your questions. If you took a trade, let me know what trades you took. I'm here to help you guys out. The other place you can get a hold of me is in the Discord. That link is in the description below. So go check out the Discord. It's 95% of it's free. It's free to join. There is a paid membership room, and that paid membership gets you the top 5 from these lists that I put out for you guys for free. There in the paid membership, there's also a one-on-one with me. You get those every month. Actually, as many as you need, really. I'm here to help you guys out. So if you need the one-on-ones, you can purchase those separately to help yourselves out. I'm there for you guys to help you out. It includes live trading bots on ticker symbols like SPY, QQQ, Disney, NEO, Tesla, a bunch of other ones. A 1-hour Strat course that I've created for you guys, that's in there as well. I have a book coming out probably in the early March on trading psychology and a bunch of other really good stuff. The other thing, guys, this screen that you see here, this is TradingView. If you've never used something like this before, you're going to need it for day trading. It helps out quite a bit. Again, in the description below, I have a link. It gives you a free 30-day trial to try out TradingView and their sub-services. So make sure you're taking advantage of that offer. And then with that link, if you click it and take up that 30-day free trial, you'll get up to $30 off of your subscription. Okay, so let's get started on this list. There's a lot on this list. But I will tell you, Rob Smith, who created the Strat, he created the strategy that we're looking at here. He'll say 2-2 on a Tuesday, and you're going to find out exactly what that means because we have a ton of these setups. Almost all of them are 2-ups that finish red, so we are going to be looking for those 2-2 reversals on the Tuesdays, okay? That's exactly what we have for most of the plays. And we'll start off with SPY. Zach Didier, I hope I pronounced that right. Do you set your orders with the target and stop loss the night before and let them execute if the price hits? Or do you look at pre-market, then do your trades based off that? Nope, so all the setups are set up accordingly as you see here. This is how I do it every single day. So market closes. Now, I did set these up 15 minutes prior to the market close just to be ready for this to this start time for the live video. So there may be a little bit discrepancies that we'll fix as we go through the video. But no, I set them up. I don't watch pre-market. If it gaps and I'm looking to play that specific ticker, like SPY, if it gaps up in the morning, there's a specific way that I play that, and there's playlists that I have in the channel to help you guys with that. It's basically playing the orb on the 15-minute, and you can do it on multiple different time frames. You can use it on the 5 or the 3 or the 30. I like the 15, but watch those videos. They'll explain how to play those gaps if it gaps up or down pre-market. So let's get started on SPY. So we talked about just a few seconds ago these 2-2 on a Tuesday. You'll hear Rob Smith say that. You'll hear a lot of Stratters say that. So what we have is this 2-up that finished red. So a 2 candle, and you'll notice here I have these candlestick numbers. That's part of the indicator that I've created for you guys. So that indicator includes this time frame continuity, includes the candlestick numbers, and includes a bunch of other things. So when we're looking at these, a 2 candle is a directional candle. It means it only breaks the high of the previous candle or the low of the previous candle. So it's trying to give you a direction. Now, we had a 2 up. Now, do I what we're looking here for is because it's a red, we'll call that a failed 2. And when we have a 2-up red, we're looking for it to reverse back to the downside. Just like if we had a 2-down green, we'd be looking for it to reverse back up. But this is a 2-up finished red. We're looking for it to trend back down. So there's always the debate of, does color matter? And some people will say yes, some people will say no. So yes, color matters. But we can still have a reversal. Hey, Marlon B just said hello, happy Monday. Same to you, Marlon. If this is a 2-up green, we could still have a 2-down reversal on this candle, but the probability increases when it's red. Okay, so we have this 2-up finished red. We have a higher probability that this is going to trend down. So we can look for puts at 396.75 and then take our first targets at 393.64. Now, guys, this is how I trade, and it doesn't matter if you're looking at a daily, the hourly, the 15, the 4-hour. Set your triggers and targets on a higher time frame and then manage it on a smaller time frame. Especially if you're trading options, it's going to help you take profit on that trade. So when we have this trigger here, you set your triggers and your targets on the higher time frame. I always hop down to the 5. That's where my bread and butter is, and it's usually the 15 and the 5, but you can set your triggers and targets anywhere, but manage that trade on a smaller time frame. So as you can see on the time frame continuity scale here, the day currently is down, the week is down, the month is down. So this has really good time frame continuity. Now, when I trade, my trades, like today, I took a 5-minute trade today on SPY. I took a put. I was in it for, it was about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I did 17%, and that's good enough for me. But I had the day and the hour in the right direction. It was to the downside. If this week and month were all green, it wouldn't have mattered to me because my trades are so short. This is all I need. Now, if you want to go and say, I need the week to be in that same direction, that gives you higher probability. When the month is in the same direction, that gives you higher probability. I call these bonuses because they basically are giving you a bonus. It's more probability that that trade is going to work out in your favor. So again, the calls at the puts at 396.75 and first target at 393.64. Rhonda said, I see on your chart yesterday's candle. Yeah, Rhonda, I'm not sure why that is. So this would have finished. What do we have here? I'm not really sure why that's highlighted in green. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Anyways, that's SPY. So let's move on to NEO. Again, I said there was going to be a lot of these 2-2 reversals. Now you look at the time frame continuity on NEO, everything's pointing down. We had a 2-up, finished red. We're going to look for puts at 924, first target at 913. And Rhonda, I haven't seen you for a while. It's been a long time. I hope you're doing good. Same thing on Chevron. So Chevron has this 2-up red. You see this full time frame continuity to the downside. Okay, so puts here at 161.92, and this big spot here, I like to see that. That is it's a lot of room for us to move down to that target. I say meat on the bone. So I like to see these big movements here. I like to see a lot of room for it to hit targets. It gives us a lot of opportunity to take profit on this trade. So we have a couple things going for us. We have that 2-up that finished red. We're going to look for puts here. And I believe on Chevron, let me check the week here. Chevron, no. It was Starbucks, I think. We'll talk about that when we get to Starbucks. But first target, we've got a lot of room, a lot of magnitude, a lot of room to move. So I like to see that on CVX. Coca-Cola, here we go. Same thing again. And I don't even know why these candles are orange. It's not normal. So anyways, ignore the orange candles. I really don't know why they're there. We can look for puts on this one. Full time frame continuity to the downside. 2-up red. So we're looking at the outlines here again. I don't know why they're orange, but we're going to look for puts at 59.75. First target down here at 59.39. And you notice there's also a pink line here. So this pink line represents the weekly charts. So if I go to the weekly, we have an inside bar on the weekly. We're looking to break out of that inside bar. We're going 2 down or 2 up. Well, based off of this, we are expected to trend down. And we're looking to also, that first target will trigger the weekly 2 down. So domino effect, I talked about that in yesterday's watch list. Let's go to Netflix. So Netflix, there's that 2 up red again, and this is what we call a shooter candle. So a shooter candle has these bodies at the bottom here and a long wick at the top. So that wick needs to be at least 2 times the size of this body, which it is. We've got time frame continuity the majority of the way, and so we can look for puts here at 322.12 on this 2-2 reversal. Now, normally I would tell you guys to put your targets at the bottom of the candles, but we have this gap here. There's no candle between this one and this one here. So we have what's called a gap, and we want to fill that gap. So the first target becomes that gap fill. Excuse me. It becomes that gap fill, and then your next target just goes to the bottom of the next candle. Now, again, if you're just joining in here with us, if you guys have questions, you can leave them in the live chat comment section. That's why I'm doing this for you guys. So we go to Citigroup. Again, I don't know why these candles are orange. They shouldn't be. That is a 2 up that finished red. We're going to look for puts on this one at $50.39. Exactly what we looked at on Netflix. We have this gap here. So we are going to look to have that gap filled. First target, $50.34. We'll move into Disney. Same thing. 2 up, finish red. We'll look for those puts at $100.07. First target at $98.96. Time frame continuity outside of this hour. Again, if we trend down, this hourly will change red and we'll have the majority of the time frame continuity in our favor. This is what I mean, guys. I set these up 15 minutes before, so there are going to be slight variances. I'm just going to move it down. If you're looking to get your lines to exactly match up there, I use this little magnet here. So this magnet will get you to line those lines up magnetically on top of the wicks or on top of the bodies. So we look at Macy's. Macy's has full time frame continuity to the downside. We have this 2 up that finished red. We're going to look for puts here at $20.35. First target at $20.22. AMD, we have a 2 up red. These orange candles are bugging the crap out of me. 2 up red, we're going to look for puts at $78.53. And first targets I don't have marked out, but let's mark them out together. Change that to green. And that is our first target, $76.94. It's a good magnitude. It's a good amount of space. That's what I like to see. So that's the setup on AMD. 2 up red on American Airlines. Nice time frame continuity back to the downside. So we look for puts here at $15.55. First target at $15.36. BAC, same thing. This is a 2-2 reversal. Okay. 2 up, finished red. We're going to look for puts back to the downside. 2-2 on a Tuesday. We'll look for puts at $34.17. First target at $33.84. Now, when we're taking these trades, or when I take these trades, the way I do it, guys, and I get this question quite a bit, how do you deal with the trigger and the strike price? Because there is no $34.17 strike price on these options. So if you're looking at options on this, and I wouldn't recommend shorting these on common shares, look for something else. But on this, if we're triggering at $34.17 for puts, my trigger that I would be looking at is $34, a $34 strike, or a $33.50 strike. So I get 1 or 2 strikes, maybe 3, depending on the ticker. SPY, I might go 3 out, depending on the price. But 1 or 2 strikes outside of the trigger price is what I do. And then for expiries, I'm okay taking closest to. So SPY, like today, I took 0 days. You don't have to do that. You can buy yourself some time, so you can get further out. BAC, the expiration will be Friday. For me, that's enough time. I'm okay with that. Some people like to get 2 weeks out. But again, I'm not in these trades long term. I'm in these trades for, again, 3 minutes to an hour, not very long. So I'm comfortable with that 0 DTE. I'm also very conscious of my stops and getting out of the trades when I need to get out of them. So if you struggle with that, you might want to buy yourself some time. So that's the setup on BAC. We'll move to Datadog. And again, there are a ton of these plays. They're all basically set up the same, guys. Datadog has this 2-up that finished red. We're going to look for puts at 76.59, first target at 75.31. DIA, the diamonds, 2-up red. So again, we'll look for that reversal back to the downside. Full time frame continuity here. If you guys don't know about time frame continuity, not a lot of people do. Somebody asked about it on the last video yesterday. I suggest watching the video I have on it. It's something not a lot of people use, but it is very important in this trading strategy or when you're trading in general, because it tells you that across the board today, on the week, on the month, on the 3-month chart, on the yearly, there are sellers right across this thing trying to bring this thing down. So it is very important. I use it all the time. I wouldn't trade without it now. So 2-up, finished red on the diamonds. We can take puts at 328.21. First target at 326.43. This blue line, always these blue lines represent my monthly charts. So if we go to the month, man, these orange lines. The month in January, we were inside bar. We've gone 2 down on the month already. Okay? So we're 2 down on the month. We'll see if we can continue that trend as we break through the trigger for the daily. General Motors, 2-up, finished red. Time frame continuity on our side. Puts at 39.15. Good magnitude to the bottom at 38.46. IBM, there's that 2-2 reversal again. All day long on these 2-2 reversals. 2-up, finished red. We'll look for the puts at 130.15. And then you have your first 2 targets marked out for you guys. And if I didn't tell you about the time frame continuity, it is all pointing to the downside. IWM, there's that 2-2 reversal. Puts at 187.61. 185.78 is your first target. Facebook, 2-up, finished red. We look for the puts at 169.07. First target's at 167.66. I'm going to stop for a second here. Rhonda just asked, can you talk a little bit about where you would set the stops? Seems I either stay in a little too long or get out too early. So again, guys, I have 2 short videos showing this. That's in the channel. I have the review videos. It shows you exactly how I trade. Okay, how I take the trades, how I manage the trades, and then eventually, off of that, managing that trade, it shows you where to get out. So, as I said earlier in this video, set your triggers, and it doesn't have to be on the daily chart. It can be on the monthly, or on the 4-hour, or the hourly, or the 15. My bread and butter is the 15 and 5. When I'm trading throughout the day, I set my triggers and targets on the 15 and on the 15, and then I manage on the 5. So when I go over to that 5, I'm either looking for a reversal in the opposite direction to get me out on the 5-minute chart, or if I've gone through the trigger, or through the target from the 15-minute where I set it, but still trading off the 5, I'm waiting for a reversal through that trigger or through that target. Those are my stops. That's how I set my stops. So either a 5-minute reversal candle if I'm on calls and it reverses to go puts, so it goes 2 down at any time, I'm out of that trade. Okay? And that's exactly how I do it. It's not overly complicated, but you need to be prepared to actually cut that trade, whether you're in profit or not, whether it's 500% or 5%. It's how I trade every single day. Okay? We'll move on to MU. That's Micron Technologies. 2-up, finished red. Time frame for the majority is in our favor. And again, you can see I have to move this down because we moved a little slower, moved a little more in the last 15 minutes. But puts at 57.83. First targets at 57.35 on Micron. Nike, same thing. We have full time frame continuity to the downside. If we go look back on the daily, we've just been a continuous downward trend on Nike. So we will look for that to continue with puts at 118.32. First target at 117.34. NVIDIA 2 up that finished red. And again, look at the outsides here. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not sure why these are green, but if you look at the outsides are telling you that this is a red candle, okay? So puts at 234.54, first targets at 229.47. This is a 2 up that finished red. I know it's a red candle because this daily right here is telling me it's a red candle, and because the outline is red. Again, I'm not sure why it's green, but it is what it is. Oracle, this is a 2 up red, and it's off of an inside bar. So that's noted by the IB tag. Normally this would be a yellow candle. It's not right now because it's orange, and it's really bugging me, but 2 up red. We're going to look for puts here at 87.36, and the first 2 targets marked out for you guys on Oracle. Procter & Gamble, 2 up, finished red. Full time frame continuity to the downside. You notice the blue line there? If we go to the monthly, and February is almost over, guys. We're going to have a monthly swing setup coming out, but we're 2 down on the month already on Procter & Gamble. So we'll see if we continue down that way. We'll look for the puts at 138.53, first target at 138.08 on Procter & Gamble. Palantir, 2 up red. We look for those puts at 7.96. And again, you see these 2 pink lines? Those are set for my weekly triggers on either side. It's an inside bar. I know that because I've got 2 pink lines. And if I go to the weekly, I am still currently inside bar, and I was previously inside bar last week. So I'm looking to break out of that. Now, if I trend down, if I trigger puts at $7.96, my first target is 7.87. That's also my trigger to go 2 down on the week on Palantir. So your day trade could potentially change into a swing trade, okay? Roblox, same idea. Inside bar preceding it. So we call this a 1-2-2 Rev Strat. It's essentially we're just looking for a 2-2 reversal as we had a 2 up that finished red. But there is a 1 preceding it. And again, I do have videos on this. You can go check out the channel. I believe it's on how to trade without indicators. I talk about the 1-2-2 Rev Strat in there and exactly what it is. But we have triggers for puts at 36.39, and our first 2 targets, 35.86 and 35.82. So if we hit first targets, and realistically the pink line is also close to a first target, we are going to trend 2 down on the week for Roblox, which is currently sitting inside bar, and it was inside bar last week as well. We head to Walmart, 2 up red, time frame continuity to the downside in our favor, puts at 140.66. XLU, 2 up red, full time frame. XLU is the utilities ETF under Spider. Puts at 66.02, good magnitude at 65.74 on XLU. 2 up red on Exxon Mobil, XOM. We can look for puts there at 109.96. First target at 109.02. Airbnb, the 2 up, finish red. So we'll look for puts here at 122.73. First target 120.19, and that is also the trigger for our weekly swing, okay? So the 2 pink lines there, we go to the week. There's our inside bar. We're looking to break out of that inside bar. So if we trend down and hit targets, we have just triggered 2 down on the week for Airbnb. Adobe, inside bars on Adobe. So I don't have targets marked out, but we can mark them out together. There's 1. There is 2. So inside bars, let's talk about these for a second. Inside bars, or 1 bars, when we're talking about the strat, they don't break the high. They do not break the low of the previous candle. They stay within this range. Okay, it's a tightening range. It's a consolidating range. And sometimes I like to explain it like this, as an inverse broadening formation. And other people might call this a flag or what have you. This is all it is. So basically what we have here is a tightening range. And when we have that, you can look at these 2 white lines as compression and pushing down on this inside bar, which you would call a spring. And when you put compression on a spring and force on a spring and then release it, what do we expect to happen to that spring? Okay, so you're going to expect an explosion off that spring, like a jack in the box. And when we have these inside bars, let me go back and find one. Here's one right here. This is what we look for. We look for these triggers and these targets, and like here, okay, we look for these big runs. That's probability based, guys. That's what we're looking for off those inside bars, is probability. And I'll mention in every video, I know some of you guys have heard it a ton, but every trade that we look at, every trade that we're taking, every strategy, whether it's this one or not, it doesn't matter. And if people tell you different, they're lying. But every strategy is based off of probability. Because when this next candle opens on Tuesday, nobody knows what it's going to do. Might stay inside bar, might go 2 up, might go 2 up and reverse and become a 3, or might go 2 down. There's different scenarios, but nobody knows what that's going to do. But we can base it off of probability and say when we have inside bars, probability is that we are going to go on a really big run to the upside or the downside and have a good chance for a really successful trade. Here's the thing. When it doesn't happen that way, how good are you at protecting that trade, managing that trade, getting out of that trade when it goes against you? And the better you are at that, the better trader you will become. And it comes with time, and it comes with experience, and as you build that time and experience, you're going to build that psychology in your mind, just saying that I have to get out of this trade. And you can say, how successful is this strat? How successful is this strategy? And my response is, how good of a trader are you? And that's how successful this strategy will become. Because before I found the strat, I was jumping into trades not knowing where I should get out. People would say, oh, you scale out at 10% or scale out at 20%. But why? Why am I scaling? What's telling me to do that? Okay, the strat tells you exactly where to get into a trade and how to get out of a trade by using just the candlesticks. That's all. Every candlestick tells you a story. And if you're willing to listen to that story and learn those stories that they're telling you, you are going to become a successful trader. Because I'll tell you this, any one of you that's watching this or is live right now with me can press a buy button. Okay? Anybody can do that. And you could be right 50% of the time. You could go in the morning, you could pick Adobe and just say, I'm just going to click, I'm going to buy a call. And 50% of the time you're going to be right. Hey, anybody can do that. But if you're not right, then what happens? You just letting that thing go to zero, or are you getting out of that trade? And that's the difference between following a really, really good strategy and being able to understand that strategy. That's the difference between becoming a good trader and someone who's just guessing on buying. Okay? Like I said, you can be right 50% of the time. Or less. Or more. But the real where you really really get to become a good trader is when you learn how to manage your risk. And it comes down to that. Because you can win 1 out of 5 trades, guys. You really can. There's guys in the Discord that do it all the time. Marlon B just said number 1 rule is money management. That's your number 1 job as a trader, is to manage your money. Manage your risk. Manage your capital. The better you are at doing that, the better you are at preserving your capital, the better trader you will become. Because like I was just about to say, there's people in the Discord that can win 1 out of 5 trades. Would you, the average person would, if you told them, well, I won 1 out of 5 trades, they would think you're a terrible trader. But if those first 4 trades you cut it 10%, and then that 5th trade, it was an 80% win, well, you're a profitable trader, and all you did was win 20% of your trades. Now, I'm not saying that happens every single time. I'm just using it as an example. So what determines a successful trader? Okay, it's the trader is what determines a successful trader. Whether it's this strategy or something completely different, it depends on the trader. Okay, I just believe that the strat is by far the easiest strategy to learn, rather than trying to find an outcome of where EMAs cross or looking at a MACD or RSI or any of that stuff. When you don't have indicators, all you have are the candles. This is all you need, guys. And when you simplify trading, trading becomes simplified. That's my rant. I've lost a bunch of people. They chimed out. But let's continue on this list. There's a few more to go through. AFRM, inside bar. We just talked about the inside bars. Okay, so let's mark our target. Still trading inside week. I know that because of this yellow circle on the indicator here. Okay, so we can look for a break on either side on AFRM. Amazon, we have that 2 up that finished red, so we can look for puts here at 93.14. First target at 92.32. BA, so BA I put on here just because I wasn't sure which way it was going to run, if it was going to end up going green or red. It is green. The outline is there to tell me it's green. Again, normally this whole candle would be green. I'm not sure why it's red. But we have a 2 up to finish green. Now, could you look for a continuation here to the upside and to fill these gaps? Yes, you could. On the other hand, you could also, Yassine, I'm not sure what that means, but thank you for the comment. Sorry. Could you look at this as being a shooter candle? Yes, you could. You have this body and you have this wick that's 2 times the size of the body. So could you say this is a bearish pattern? You could. Okay, so it could go either way on this one. I put it on there because of that, and I wasn't sure which way this was going to end up by the time 4 Eastern rolled around. Same thing was on Apple. I left Apple the same reason, and I thought somebody might ask because people often do. We have a 2 up that finished green on Apple. So could we look for a continuation? We could. We also have this bearish shooter candle here, but you look at time frame continuity, and it's pointing us in the up direction. Now, if we trigger to the downside here off of this shooter, we'll have the hourly, the daily, and the weekly will also go red because this weekly is only represented right now by this one candle here. This is Monday's candle. It's a new week starting here. So we could have all 3 of these red if we trend down. And then your first target obviously would fill that gap. Your next target down would be here. So from Apple, we'll go to Alibaba with that inside bar as well. And normally, guys, with the indicator, the Griswold Strat indicator, these would be painted yellow for you. You watch most of the videos, they're painted yellow, and the outside bars are painted white. Again, they're not today, and I'm not sure why. I wonder if, let's see what happens if I refresh this. Did not change anything. We'll go to Baba. It did not. Okay, we'll figure it out and we'll get it ready for next video next time. CCL, 2 up, finished green. Okay, so this is one I wasn't sure which way it was going to go because this body was so tiny. So I can take CCL off the list, or you can look at it as, yes, there's a shooter candle there and it has a potential to go down. But I am going to take it off my list, and then we'll move on to Cisco. So Cisco, 2 up, finished red. We're going to look for a reversal back to the downside. And if I zoom in here, we look at time frame continuity. We have just these 3 if we trend down, not the month. But we're also looking to go 2 down on the week. That represents this pink candle here. So puts at 48.55 on Cisco. First target is 48.17. Also our trigger for the weekly to go 2 down. DocuSign, 2 up red, so we look for puts there. Nice time frame continuity. Goldman Sachs, 2 up red. We look for puts there. Good magnitude. Puts at 364.51. Lululemon, not something I normally have on here for you guys because the premiums are a little high on this one. But we do have an inside bar set up. So we can look for the calls at 313.15 or puts at 307.36 on Lulu. Microsoft, 2 up red. We look for those puts at 249.39. First target's marked at 248.10. We did that one together. So Pfizer's here. Pfizer's one I wanted to talk about. It's not on the list, but I've been talking about Pfizer for 2 months because it's just been this steady downward spiral. And a lot of people tell you not to take 2-2 continuations. Guys, we've got full time frame continuity to the downside. There's no inside bars anywhere on here. It's gone. And we talked about this going 2 down on the year. That's what this orange is. So if I go to the 1 year chart, now this candle, again, I'm not sure why they're showing green, but this is a red candle. We went 2 down on the year right here. That was the break of this wick from 2022. We are 2 down on the year on Pfizer. So how far is Pfizer going to tumble this year? And again, I've been talking about this one all year. I think Chuck the Trader was also talking about this, if we were going to hit the yearly 2 down, and I basically said, I tweeted back, it was inevitable. It's inevitable. It was so close to going 2 down. You knew it was going to be happening, and I talked about this since January. You can go all the way back, look, to the 12th of January. It was happening. We saw it coming. So that is Pfizer. I wanted to make sure I got that one in to discuss. PayPal, 2 up, finished red on PayPal. We're going to look for puts here. We've got the time frame in our favor. Puts at 73.46 and the first target's marked out. QQQ, 2 up, finished red. We've got good time frame. 293.34 is where we're looking for those puts on the trigger. And the strike price, again, if we're looking at this, guys, 293, 292 is what I'd be looking at. Your first target fills that gap, like we talked about earlier. Your next target goes to the bottom of that candle. And again, this is what we call targets, magnitude, where the bulls have their stop losses. Pick your poison, pick your flavor. From QQQ, we go to Starbucks. So Starbucks is another one I wanted to talk about. We have this 2 up that finished green. Again, it's showing red, but the outline is green. So it is a 2 down that finished green. We are going to look for puts on this based on the shooter candle, but there is a but. We have conflict, okay? So we are 2 down on the week. That's that pink line. If I go to the weekly, we're going to show that we gap down off of this 2 up red to go 2 down and tagged the broadening formation, okay? So this is what I wanted to talk about with the broadening formations. And if you look at this, we've gone highs to lows to highs. We didn't quite tag it, but back down to the lows, to the highs, to the lows. We didn't quite get back up, but we came back down. So again, I always say broadening formations are the last thing you should learn. They're subjective because really you could draw another broadening formation right here and have this one correlate to lows, to highs, to lows. But let's see where we break out here, because being at the bottom, we could very well just continue our trend up, because this was a 2-2 reversal off of the broadening formation. 2 down, 2 up reversal. We'll see if Starbucks can climb back to the top. I wanted to make sure I got that in there on this video. Target, 2 up red, puts at 165.48. First target, let's mark it out, 163 even on TGT. Uber inside bar, so calls at 33.85. Let's mark out the first target. We are stuck on the inside bar. If you guys are watching and listening, anybody know how they can tell that we are inside bar on the week? There's 2 ways you can tell off of my charts personally, the way I set them up. Does anybody know? Target has earnings tomorrow. Okay, thank you for that. And that's probably what this electric lightning symbol, if I click on it. Sorry, that was Uber. We're going to go back up to Target. But yeah, Target has earnings tomorrow. Anybody want to take a guess on how I know it's inside week? The pink lines, Rhonda. Yeah, so the pink lines that I put on the previous chart right here tells me I had an inside bar, highs and lows of last week. I'm looking to break out of those. The other way we can tell that I'm currently inside bar is this yellow line, or this yellow circle here, sorry. That tells me I'm inside week still on Uber, looking to break one direction or the other. So again, if we trend down here, our target is 33.06, or a trigger. Our first target, 33.02, will also have us trend 2 down on the week, okay? So pay attention to Uber tomorrow. Could present a swing setup for the week. And then Wells Fargo has this 2 up red shooter candle. Hourly, daily, weekly, all red. We're going to look for puts here at 46.72. First target, 45.70. That's good enough magnitude for me to look at. And guys, that's a video. So again, if you're new to this stuff, make sure you're subscribed down below. You can hit the bell. That bell will give you the notifications for when I go live, for when I send out learning tools. I've got 300 plus learning tools for you guys. I've got a learning tools playlist. I've got a beginners tools playlist, a 30 and 30 playlist. This is all for you guys, to help you guys learn and become better traders. That's all I really want. I want you guys to be more profitable. I want you guys to be happy when you're trading and look at trading as a good thing to help you out with your life and your family and your whatever you need. But it presents that opportunity, and sometimes it takes time to get there, but keep pursuing it and keep trusting in the process, and you'll get there. Does anybody have any questions that they want answered or any tickers that they want to go over before we shut this down? I have about 5 minutes. Nothing? Okay, well, if you guys don't have anything, like I said, I'm on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. Do you trade during earnings? Yeah, Marlon, I don't have any opposition to trading during earnings. I don't watch volume. I watch what the candlesticks do. So, a candlestick is a candlestick. It's going to do what it's going to do, and everything's based off of probabilities. So, the majority of the time I'm playing SPY anyways, but yeah, I don't have an opposition to trade earnings. Rhonda says, can you speak of the TTO? Is just 1 before a 2-2. So no, that's not what a TTO is. So a TTO is basically just when you're coming up, it would be like coming up through this triangle. If you're looking for a trend down like you see on Wells Fargo here, where you're trending down, you come back out, and it's a triangle day out, and you'll see this trend back down. Similar to what we're looking at as the setup here is a 2-up red with a shooter. So it forms this triangle. TTO stands for triangle day out. So it doesn't have to be complicated, but that's really all it is. You're forming this triangle right here, okay? Just as I drew there, down, up, and across, and you're looking for this to trend back down and continue downwards, okay? Triangle day out. That's what a TTO is. It's not a 1 before a 2-2. I think that's what you were asking. Is that correct? So people have asked me to do videos on it before, but it's really not. It's very simplistic, I guess, a TTO, and it doesn't have to be. Nobody really. I've never seen actually a video where people actually show you what it is, but that's all it is. It's creating a triangle, and they're out. Okay, it's basically just a pullback is what it is. Okay, a TTO is another term for a pullback. Okay, so if that's it, guys, again, you can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. You can leave comments down below if you'd like. DM me on Twitter, or you can join the Discord. The link is in the description. It's 95% free, guys. I really am here to help you out. If you want to set up one-on-ones, they do say 15 minutes. I've never had anybody go less than 15 minutes on a one-on-one. Even in the private membership with those one-on-ones that you guys get, I've never had anybody go less than 30 minutes on there, okay? I will sit down with you guys as long as you need privately to help you guys out. But as I said, it is included with the membership if you get that. So is the indicator, live trading bots, top 5 plays, the one hour strat course. So it's all there for you guys if you need it. If you have questions, make sure you guys are asking them. Good luck trading on Tuesday, guys. I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you green, and we will see you guys all on the next one.